Hey guys, so today we're going to be learning about the area of trapezoids. So first off, let's just kind of remind ourselves. Guys, remember trapezoids have two parallel bases, okay? They have two parallel bases, so we're going to keep that in mind as we go. So our formula is going to be a little bit different from what it has been from like rectangles and triangles. Because we have two bases, we have to use both bases. So we're going to do the height of our trapezoid, times one base plus the other divided by 2. Something to remember, the bases are always parallel. Okay, so in order to find the two numbers for the bases, if you find the parallel ones, those are our bases. Okay, so I went ahead and took the liberty of starting this out. So our formula is area equals height times base 1 plus base 2 over 2. So let's substitute this in. Fortunately, this one does not really give us anything extra. For those of you that can't see this, hopefully you have this pulled up. This is a 5. You guys remember a height is always with, let's see if I can make this a little bolder, is always with a right angle. Remember, that's how we find it. Okay, so there's our height. I can't make that any bolder, I apologize. Okay, so my base 1, we can label this as base 1, and we can do this as base 2. You could always flip it, it doesn't matter, because you know when you're adding, it's going to be the same. So area equals a height of 5 centimeters times 4 base 1 plus 8 base 2, and we know that that is all over 2. Okay, so I'm going to come up here so that I can solve this. So we have area equals 5 times 4 plus 8 over 2. Okay, so that's going to give me a 5 times, we'll do 4 plus 8 is 12 over 2. So my area equals 5 times 12 divided by 2 is 6. Area equals 30. So my area equals 30 centimeters squared. Okay, and let's try a couple more. All right, so for number 2, again, the formula, same thing. Area equals, remember we have to write it every time, height times base 1 plus base 2 all over 2. So when we substitute it in, our area equals the height. All right, guys, so let's look very carefully at this one, okay? All right, the height. Am I going to use my 4 here? That looks like a staircase. Or the 5 that goes up and down here, which we would consider floor to ceiling, right? We want to use floor to ceiling. So our height is going to be 5. Base 1, let's just do this one. Base 2. Base 1 would be 4 plus 8. All right, so this one was pretty much the exact same thing as what we had for number 1. We just had to sift through the information. And guys, the reason that I didn't want to use this 4, first off, we noticed there's really nothing over here, but you can imagine they're going to be the exact same. However, these two are parallel. If I were to continue these lines going like this, they would eventually intersect each other, and that would not be what we want. These are parallel, and that is why we want to use them. Those are our bases. Okay, all right, so again, I'll resolve this one just so that y'all can see it. So area equals 5 times 4 plus 8 over 2. So I'm going to do my 4 plus 8 first. Order of operations, guys. Oops, let's put the 5 out there. 4 plus 8 is 12 over 2. So area equals, got to finish in those parentheses. That would be 6. And so my area equals 5 times 6 is 30. Okay. 30 centimeters squared. And we know that's correct because we got last time 2. All right, now let's do one that we haven't done yet. So number 3, okay, our formula once again is area equals height times base 1 plus base 2 over 2. Okay, so my area equals a height of, all right, got a lot of info here. Okay, so let's just sort through this first before we start filling it in. All right, we need to look for what is going to be parallel. Are these going to be parallel? Notice if you continue these lines going, these would end up intersecting. So these are not our parallels. We need to do what's parallel. These guys are going to be parallel. Also, guys, look what we found. A right angle. Remember when we find a base and a height? It's a right angle. All right, so this would be my base 1. This can be base 2. And we're going to want to use this one because it is from floor to ceiling. It makes a right angle. This is our height. Okay, so 3 for the height. Base 1, 7 and 5/10 plus 4 and 5/10 all over 2. Okay, so like I said, let's solve these So we actually have space. Area equals 3, 7, and 4 and 5/10 over 2. So we're going to do our additions first. Area equals 3 times. All right, guys, remember you do get to use a calculator. So we are going to 7.5 plus, well, yes, you can do this by hand. I figure this leads to less mistakes. So 7, 5 plus 4.5, 12. All right, we can do the rest of this by hand now. Area equals 3. 12 over 2 is 6. And we know that now 3 times 6 is 18. So my area equals 18 meters squared. Okay. All right. All right, let's go ahead. Let's do the next one. Here's our next trapezoid. So we have area equals height times B1 plus B2 over 2. Yes, you must memorize this formula just like all the others. So let's go for substituting. All right, let's find what's parallel. These two are my parallels. We can put this as my 1, this is my 2, this is my height. Obviously, it's the only one they gave us, so that makes it nice and simple. 7 and 3/10, multiply that by 8 plus 6 over 2. And we're going to come over here to solve because, you know, we need some space here. Area equals a height, 3. Okay, so area equals 7 and 3/10. 8 plus 6 gives me 14 over 2. So area equals 7 and 3/10. 14 over 2 would give me 7. And be on the safe side here. 7 and 3/10 times 7. Looks right. So area equals 51/10. So A equals 51 and 1/10 of a yard squared. And last one. Okay. All right. So once again, I can see it's a trapezoid. Area equals height times B1 plus B2 over 2. Y'all will get so sick of saying that. All right. Let's look for what's parallel. Okay, I see over here I have a right angle. That means here's my base. So I have 1, base 2. These will never intersect. If I went this way, we're going to intersect. That's not what we want. And then we have a height. Move that cursor. A height of 3, because remember that's where the right angle is. This would be like a staircase. We don't want that. So height of 3. So height. All right, so height is 3 times 4 plus 7 over 2. And once again, we're going to move to the side to solve this. Area equals 3 times 4 plus 7 over 2. Let's double check. 4, 7, 3. Good. Area equals 3. 4 plus 7 is 11 over 2. All right, area equals 3. If you don't know this one by heart, that's okay. 11 divided by 2 is 16. And then we're going to multiply that by 3. 16 and 5/10. 8 squared.